Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It is night number 2 of the 2026 ISC World Tournament. And this year's event being staged at the brand new, beautiful JDT First Energy Veteran Memorial Fields on the Chippewa of the Thames Reserve. It's the first time that this event has ever been staged on Indigenous territory, and it's been a terrific event so far. And in this game, it is the two-time defending champion Hill United Chiefs against the Georgian Bay Giants, who knocked off Prince George 7-0 in their opening game. And here's a look at the offensive lineup for Georgian Bay, and they have a number of key players on their team from Japan, including their catcher and the leadoff man, who is Ryuji Okawa. For Hill United defensively, same group that went to work last night in their opening game victory, 7-0 over the Poose Lynch Kodiaks. It is Quentin Bruce, Nick White again in center, Alan Pecker in right. Around the diamond, Blake Hunter is at third, the captain Shane Boland at short, Lenny Villavazzo and Tony Gonzalez at first. Behind home plate once again, the 23-year-old catcher is Luciano Biondi, and 24-year-old Marco Diaz, who in his opening game here last night, 4 innings of work, 12 strikeouts, and issued just 1 walk. Marco was fabulous 1 year ago in Mankato, Minnesota. In fact, Hill United, on their way to the title, their 7th in team history since they began in the year 2012, only gave up 1 run in the 6 games that they played. So the Georgian Bay Giants, impressive yesterday. This is a team who 1 year ago in Mankato ended up finishing in the final
Where's your coach at? Coach.
Of the ISC 2 portion, and you get a look at all the neat and different power rankings. And Marco Diaz right now is number 2 on those world rankings, and that can all change when this event is said and done, because this is truly the crown jewel of men's fast pitch club softball. As you get a look inside of both dugouts, and we are closing in on the game's first pitch. Mike DeBrew will work behind home plate. Kevin Wallace at second, and at third, or at first, pardon me. At third, it's Robbie Sadgrove from Christchurch, New Zealand. So even there is lots of international flair, including in the umpiring crew. And Ryuji Okawa, member of the Japanese national team 1 year ago at the World Cup in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, leading things off. He was 1 for 1 in the win yesterday against Prince George, and he walked 3 different times. And Marco Diaz delivers a changeup first pitch strike. Marco, even 1 week ago at the USA Nationals in South Bend, Indiana, was quite consistently in the 85 to 87 mile an hour range. He's as hard a thrower as there is in the sport right now, and there's one at 85. As he straightens out things as far as the pitching path and the landing area is concerned, Marco 16-5 on the entire 2026 season, and a good drop ball that Okawa swung on and missed. Okawa did play a game against Hill United earlier this year at the time in a tournament in Kitchener-Waterloo back in early July. And Diaz comes up, and according to the home plate umpire, went around, and Marco Diaz opens the night with another strikeout. As he sits down, Ryuji Okawa, the Georgian Bay shortstop. And now the designated player from Buenos Aires, Enzo Charamonte. Played in the game against Prince George yesterday defensively, did not have an at-bat. Charamonte 0 for 6 in the ISC portion. As Diaz with the lean back and the delivery, which is down and out of the zone. And there is 87. And if you're not familiar, 87 is from 46 feet. It gets on you in a hurry. That's basically, if you think about it from a Major League Baseball standpoint, that mound is 60 feet, 6 inches away, and this would be the equivalent of about 108 to 110. So that just tells you what some of the best pitchers in the game, and Marco is certainly one of those at just 24 years of age. Top of the first inning, second game for both teams in the winner's bracket, and this one gets a piece of Charamonte. It was a changeup that got away from Marco, and on one hop hits Charamonte, who becomes the game's first base runner. Should mention that unfortunately this week, the Hill United Chiefs family lost one of their biggest fans, supporters in Brian Hill, and funeral was staged on Friday, nicknamed Big B, and the park just doesn't seem quite the same without him. So Hill United playing with heavy hearts this week. Brian, the brother of Hill United chief sponsor and owner Pete Hill, who, by the way, happy birthday to Pete. He is celebrating a birthday today. And a strike at the top of the zone on Shinsuke Amada, the Georgian Bay catcher, also from Tokyo, Japan. He was 1 for 2. He catches for JTEKT in the Japanese League. As Marco looks to find an early rhythm. Beautiful night. Really couldn't ask for much more on this Sunday evening at this spectacular new facility. Opened last year. And Diaz on the outside corner that Amada had no answer for. So Diaz with his second strikeout, and again, the delivery as smooth as you'll find in the sport. The batter is the center fielder, Mac Mulvey, who's from Wingham, Ontario, 1 for 3 in the win over Prince George with a run batted in. And Mac was impressive last year in the ISC tournament, the main portion, which Georgian Bay played 3 games in. He went 4 for 8. And hitting in the number 4 spot in the Georgian Bay order. So Charamonte has good speed at first. And a rise ball that is just out of the zone. 3 balls and no strikes to Mac Mulvey. And this one does find the upper portion of the zone, another rise. in the sport, generally the rise ball is not thrown at the same velocity as a hard drop. And that one misses outside. So an early threat in the top of the first for Georgian Bay on a hit batter and now a walk, which Marco Diaz has had fantastic control for the most part all season long. In fact, coming into this particular game, when you think about the whole entire season, in 123 and a third innings, Marco had only walked 36 batters. Fielder A.J. Moses. And Moses with a good cut. And again, a bit of a bite for catcher Luciano Biondi, who will try to shake that off. Moses is from Mitchell, Ontario. He was a key contributor in their win yesterday over Prince George. Was 1 for 2 with a couple of runs batted in, and he has a chance to drive home the game's first run here. And takes a look at a second strike at 86. Diaz only allowed one base runner to reach, but this Georgian Bay team is certainly a different opponent than the one they faced a night ago. And again, either off, and it was off of Biondi one more time. In that one, he felt even more than the first go-around, as he's, if nothing else, consoled a little bit by Marco Diaz. Luciano Biondi, one of the promising young players in the game. He's just 23. From Argentina, he was a first-team all-world utility player in Mankato, Minnesota. Rise ball up and out of the zone to Moses. AJ's played in a lot of ISC World Tournaments. In fact, he's 20 for 68 in his career, at least going back to the year 2015 when he was a member of the Elmira Expos and was for a number of years in this event. And is able to lay off that pitch. Again, a nice crowd is assembling for this game, and the next game should be a dandy between the Kegel Black Knights, and I believe it's JDT First Energy in the nightcap. And Diaz, plenty of movement, and records a third strikeout in an inning that wasn't easy. A hit batter, a walk batter. But when he needed it, delivered that. We'll set the Hill United lineup offensively and the Georgian Bay defensive lineup when we return on night number 2 of the 2026 ISC World Tournament on Softball Premier TV. Marco Diaz, 3 strikeouts. Georgian Bay left a couple of runners in the first, and here is how things stack up for a second straight night at this year's ISC. Alan Pecker, over the last month or so, has been moved into the leadoff spot, the 5-tool player. Had a good night to open here at the JDT First Energy Fields. Lenny Villavazzo in the cleanup spot. The captain, Shane Boland, is hitting 7th. And defensively, Mac Mulvey, Brad Pender, A.J. Moses in the outfield around the diamond. Wade Kawagashig, Ryuji Okawa, Andrew Van Bockel, and Tyler Hewitt. Behind home plate, Shinsuke Amada for the Japanese pitcher in Taiga Onishi. He is from Tokyo. He pitched 1 inning yesterday in the win over Prince George. Did not give up a run or a hit in that 1 inning and did strike out a couple of batters. As Alan Pecker to lead things off. Allen 1 for 2 with a double last night on a ball hit into the outfield that would have been a single for most, but not for Allen. Allen is 38 for 99 on the year, 6 doubles, 4 triples, 7 home runs, and 15 runs batted in. As Taiga Onishi set to work against the 2-time reigning ISC champion Hill United Chiefs. It is only Sunday. This has the makings in 2026 of a great tournament. And there have already been a couple of surprises the first 2 days, some near upsets. And that's what makes sports special. You have to play them, and right off the get-go, the battery, the young catcher, Amada, goes out to chat with his fellow countrymen, and Okawa, the shortstop, everybody involved. And Mike DeBrew is going to come out and ask about the visit. So Alan Pecker steps back into the box. And Onishi set to work. And he misses inside to Alan Pecker, who has been an all-world performer. The 28-year-old from Argentina. And again, takes inside from Onishi. Allen is a very aggressive hitter. And had a quality hack at that pitch. At 80. Great to have the stats program and all the velocity and the different spin rates and all the different toys here provided by Luciano Lafrano at Softball Premier TV. Just some neat new additions each and every year for your viewing pleasure. And a quality drop ball swung on and missed by Allen on this account. 2-2 to Alan Pecker. And in recent tournaments, he's been as dangerous as anyone. But Onishi gets him with yet another drop ball. And this one with good sinking movement late. And now, 22-year-old Nick White. Nick's 32 of 74, in his 4th year with the team. This guy just keeps getting better and better and better. 2 for 2 in the tournament opener last night with a double and a run batted in. Drives it to left field. It'll test Pender, but he races over towards the line for out number 2. Good contact made by the 22-year-old from Truro, Nova Scotia, but Pender able to run that down. Two out for 9-time All-World member Brad Ezekiel, the 39-year-old from Harbor, Maine, Newfoundland. He was 2 for 2. last night against the Poose Lynch Kodiaks with a couple of runs batted in. He's up to 31 of those in 2026. But this guy, flat out, one of the best to ever do it. Player of the decade in the ISC in the year starting 2010, and would not be far behind in the decade starting in 2020 either. And this is a much more difficult test for the defending champs on night number 2 than night number 1. Onishi looks in to get the sign and set to deliver. And there's the waggle of the bat, unlike any other. And Ezekiel takes outside for a ball. Brad had an all-world performance in Mankato last year. He was 6 for 13 at the ISC with 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. And a lot of his hits over the years, both at the ISC level and internationally, have come in the most clutch moments. With the emergence of Nick White, it's a bat you would never want to take out of the lineup. Brad will certainly continue to play some center field this week. As Ezekiel trying to provide Hill United with their first hit of this one. A mile in the air towards Pender. And Onishi with a good start. A 1-2-3 inning to begin. We'll head to the second on night number 2 of the 2026 ISC World Tournament.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Top of the second inning, Tyler Hewitt to lead things off for the Georgian Bay Giants, who would feel awfully good about the first inning, a 1-2-3 inning defensively. And a good start for Taiga Onishi as Tyler Hewitt looks at a first pitch strike from Marco Diaz. Tyler is from Wyerton, Ontario. A hit yesterday. He was 1 for 3 in the game against Prince George. And tied him up to get ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Marco, over the last 2 years, has really made a pretty good habit of working ahead in counts, which is really the want and need of every good pitcher. Just allows you to dictate rather than the other way when you end up working from behind and getting deep in counts. This one well struck that will test Quentin Bruce, and he makes a fine running catch. Quentin Bruce with a fine defensive effort to take a hit away from Tyler Hewitt, who made excellent contact on the 1-2 pitch. An outside-in type swing and force Bruce back towards the track. Had a chat earlier today with Ray Peavy, the tournament director, and was asking about how deep the fences are, and he thought they were all in the 270 neighborhood. So it takes a good poke as Andrew Van Boekel. And this one, not off catcher, but home plate umpire Mike DeBrew, who shakes it off. That one stung. Looked like it was on the instep. Andrews from Tavistock, he was 1 for 3 yesterday. And Diaz at 86. There's a longtime veteran coach, John Hill. You won't find a better person in the game. And a changeup that Van Boekel questions the home plate umpire on. Strikeout number 4 early in the game for Marco Diaz. Third baseman Wade Kiwagashig, also 1 for 3 in the win over Prince George with a run batted in. The third baseman also will do some pitching. Maybe not as much in this event with the 2 Japanese pitchers in Onishi and Yu Yamawaki, who is also part of their staff. Wade was 1 for 7 at the tournament last year in Mankato. Two outs in the second in this early winners bracket game. And that did not miss by a whole bunch. You see the velocity, but also the indicator that it was just outside. Took something off that time. And the count is full to Kiwagashig. Played with Oswegan in the 2023 ISC World Tournament. And strike 3 is Marco Diaz with another solid inning. 3 more strikeouts. He's up to 6 early in the game. Here at the JDT First Energy Veteran Memorial Fields, the Chippewa of the Thames Indigenous Reserve on Softball Premier TV.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that. A fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit.
Lenny Villavazzo, the Hill United second baseman, leading things off. Quentin Bruce and Tony Gonzalez are due up in the bottom of the second. Marco Diaz with 5 strikeouts so far through 2 innings. And Taiga Onishi comes in for a strike on Lenny Villavazzo, who has really had a terrific year. He was a second-team all-world player at this event. In fact, he hit the walk-off homer in a 10-0 victory in the championship final in Mankato. Tournament that was played 1 week earlier because of the World Games that were played in China right directly after. Lenny, a 4-time all-world player. He's 29 for 84 on the season, 0 for 1 in the game last night. Again, congratulations to everyone who was inducted. What a class that went into the ISC Hall of Fame at the breakfast. Terrific job by all the organizers. Very enjoyable start to the morning. Villavazzo drives it the other way, and it will go just foul. Lenny hit 500 at the ISC World Tournament last year. He was 7 for 14. He doubled a couple of times. He homered, the one that I referred to that walked off the Hill United Chiefs' 7th ISC World Tournament title, and drove in 3 runs. And the rise gets away from Onishi. It has been interesting over the last number of years on the ISC circuit, if you will, to see more and more players coming over from Japan. And Onishi gets Villavazzo with a rise ball. And this one has quality late jump. His second strikeout of the evening. And now it's Grand Valley, Ontario's Quentin Bruce. 0 for 2 in the game last night. And he already has contributed in this game with a fine running catch towards the outfield screen and fence in the last half inning to take a hit away from Tyler Hewitt, who has made the best contact of anyone early in this game. Quentin's 28 for 103 on the year. 5 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs, and 18 runs batted in. And offensively got stronger as the year went on, and Onishi with a good drop ball. He's started the game with some good stuff. Taiga was not part of Japan's World Cup or World Games team in 2025. That might change moving forward for that country. There's Andrew Van Bockel in to hand over the ball. There's Quentin Bruce trying to provide the Chiefs with their first hit or base runner, and that one low and in the dirt. Amada is not a large catcher, but very quick. That is evident first viewing for me of the young catcher. And he looks like he could be about 16. And again, it's the drop that gets it done. So back-to-back strikeouts of Villavazo and Quentin Bruce to open the bottom of the second. And now Mr. Consistency and Tony Gonzalez.
First baseman, number 2.
The 36-year-old from Mexico. 33 of 91 on the season. Hit an impressive .438 at last year's ISC World Tournament with 7 hits. He homered 3 times and drove in 10. A ball and a strike to Tony Gonzalez, who was 1 for 2 in the tournament opener last night with a double and 2 more runs batted in. Change up. And a good one. Pulled the string at 60. We've seen him in the 80 and 81 mile an hour category, according to StatsCast, which you might be able to see that little red and white unit right behind home plate, providing you all of that excellent information. And a special thank you, too, to all the sponsors that make these ISC World Tournament broadcasts possible. You come to an event like this, and in what has been a very busy summer for some of the higher-ranked teams, it was almost like they played in a league this year. So for Hill United, I don't believe that they have faced Taiga Onishi all year. He did play in one tournament in Kitchener, the Peter Hallman Memorial Tournament. He was picked up in that event by the Toronto Batmen and had one game where he had 4 outstanding innings. He started well tonight. And Gonzalez sprays that foul. One thing that you'll find amongst some of the better teams in the competition is things can change significantly after the first at-bat for everyone, especially when maybe you haven't seen someone all year. But Onishi throwing well. A high hopper to Okawa. And another 1-2-3 inning for Taiga Onishi and the Georgian Bay Giants. Still in search of the game's first run on night number 2 of the 2026 ISC World Tournament. No runs, and to this point, no hits. A hit batter and a walk batter gave Georgian Bay a bit of an opportunity early in the game as Brad Pender, the left fielder, fouls one back. He played in the game against Prince George yesterday. Defensively, did not have an official at-bat. Brad is from Ottawa. His last ISC appearance came with the Niagara Stompers back in 2022. Was 3 for 9 in that event. So Marco Diaz and Taiga Onishi in an early pitcher's duel. Now, the way Marco reacted was he definitely thought it was foul, and there is great video evidence that the ball did go off of Brad Pender. Always smart to jump out of the box and run it out. As it goes off of the front foot. Ball and 2 strikes to the Georgian Bay left fielder. Have Marco at 6 strikeouts now. Is that one right at the letters? And if Mr. Statscast is correct, you saw where that pitch was. To the top of the order, and the shortstop, Ryuji Okawa. He struck out versus Diaz. Now 1 for 2 in the tournament. Ryuji was 1 for 12 at last year's World Cup for Japan. His one hit was a home run in a game against the United States. Also played for Japan in the 2023 U23 World Cup. And this one, pretty good contact. Shane Boland up with it and delivers for out number 2. Here's Okawa. Makes contact. Brings to the plate one more time the designated player, Enzo Cheramonte. In search of his first hit in his last 2 ISCs. And had a good, healthy cut at the first pitch from Marco. On this comfortable Sunday. And hopefully Mother Nature cooperates throughout the evening. As Cheramonte asked for time, and Marco Diaz and Luciano Biondi. Hill United, you can see they use the PitchCom system, just like the one that is used in Major League Baseball. You might be able to see the device at the top of Biondi's right shin, and he'll signal in. And Marco Diaz has a device inside his hat where it will tell him the sequence of numbers. There's Marco with a reach back to the sticky rag called Gorilla Gold. Two change up. So Chiramonte works himself into a full count. And Diaz thought he had a strike on the outside corner. Not the case. His second time in the game that Chiramonte has drawn a walk. This one comes with 2 outs.
Catcher number 99, Shinsuke Ahoda.
Shinsuke Amada, the catcher, hitting in the number 3 spot in the order. And Amada had a big swing, but not much chance on that rise ball that was up and well out of the zone. That is certainly the pitch over the last year or so that has been the pitch he's developed the best. The throw by Biondi gets Chiramonte attempting to steal as Boland across the bag and able to lay down the tag. It's just a good aggressive move. You've got your number 3 hitter up, trying to end up with a runner in scoring position, and Biondi with a strong throw and an even better tag. To the bottom of the third.
No runs, no hits.
We've got a good
No
one
errors, no
brewing
runners, on base.
here on day number 2 of the 2026 ISC World Tournament on the home of it, Softball Premier TV.
A metal roof lasts a lifetime. Thousands trust Metal Roof Outlet to install stylish, stone-coated metal roofing that looks just like traditional shingles. Make a smart and worthwhile investment for your home with Metal Roof Outlet. Contact us through metalroofoutlet.com to get a quote for a roof replacement anywhere in Southern Ontario. Because when you trust Metal Roof Outlet with your roof replacement, it may be the last time you ever replace your roof.
Shane Boland, who made a quality tag on a steal attempt by Enzo Chiramonte to end the top of the inning. Batting in the number 7 spot, Blake Hunter and Luciano Biondi are the scheduled hitters due up. Hill United yet to have a base runner in the game, as Taiga Onishi has been perfect through 6 batters.
Third for the United Chiefs. Shortstop, number 91, Shane Boland.
The 36-year-old captain of Hill United. This guy has had a stellar career. Shane has been plagued a little bit this summer with injury. Has really not been 100% healthy for considerable amount of time. Okawa. And there's one away. Japanese shortstop has great range, and if you have ever watched this sport internationally,
Third baseman,
years and
number 3,
years and years on both the
Hunter.
men's and women's side of the game, the Japanese are generally as technically sound on the defensive side as any nation in the sport. They're just part of their culture and their work ethic. Blake Hunter, this one could fall. This one will fall. And Blake 3 for 3 to begin the 2026 ISC World Tournament, and the Chiefs have their first base runner. This one right off the end of the bat and
Catcher,
finds some
number
green
34,
grass.
Lucy Biondi.
Is not even the speedy Okawa could range back to get that ball. And now catcher Luciano Biondi. And he is really, like Alan Pecker, like Nick White, a threat to do a lot of things. Blake Hunter scrambles back on the bunt attempt. And Biondi couldn't quite get down, because when he does, in many occasions, he'll find himself safe. But that one ended up being
Right fielder.
a mini line drive.
Alan Pecker.
Just couldn't get it down. You can see the hand underneath, as opposed to when you get the hand on the top above. We'll send the ball towards the ground. That one popped up. Alan Pecker in a tough spot. This will fall. Blake Hunter on his way to third. And for the first time in the game, the Chiefs are threatening, as Alan Pecker has his second double of this 2026 ISC World Tournament. And again, both hits, not hard contact, but contact that gets the job done. So runners at second and third for Nick White, who flew out to Brad Pender in left in the first. And White swings and misses over top of a good drop ball. First two hits of the game have come here in the bottom of the third. White tries to drop down a one-strike bunt base hit. And again, this is a player that if he puts the ball in play, especially to the left side of the diamond, has a chance to be safe. He might be as fast as anyone in the sport right now. Two strikes to Nick White. And got a piece. And so did catcher Amata, who felt that. Georgian Bay dugout checking to make sure that their fine young catcher is okay. Big spot early in the game. Another 0-2 on the way from Taiga Anishi. And strikes out Nick White. The drop ball has been very good for Onishi, and it gets him out of trouble in the third. We'll head to the fourth.
Third for Hill United Chiefs.
Day
No
two.
runs on 2 hits.
At
No
the
errors, 2
ISC
runners
World
left on
Tournament.
base. Score after 3 complete.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge
Hill
on the
United Chiefs,
field.
0.
Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at
Could we have the Parks officials, one of the Parks
peligrosportsnyc.com.
officials, please
Thanks to
turn the lights
Jose
on?
and Peligro Sports for their support of the broadcast program.
Couple of other games underway on night number 2 of this 2026 ISC World Tournament. The Kingston Axemen trailing the Pueblo Bandits by a score of 4-2. The Toronto Batmen, the U23 team, leading the Saskatoon Jacks.
99.
As we give you a look at the power rankings for hitters, with the Gremlins' Jerome Remicke at the top of that list. Again, it's the catcher, Shinsuke Amada. He was at home plate when Enzo Cheramonte was thrown out in the last half inning for Georgian Bay batting to end it. Diaz goes upstairs. Shinsuke Amada. Have not found any national team appearances for him to this point in my research. Not always easy to do with Japanese players. And the rise ball gets it done for Marco Diaz again on this occasion. So one out for the center fielder, Mac Mulvey, who walked and fouls off the first pitch that he sees on this occasion from Diaz. Marco's thrown 49 pitches in the game so far. 30 of them have been for strikes, and make that 50 and 31. It's a really good changeup. As Diaz ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. See what he has to offer here to Mulvey. A little bit of a grin on Marco's face. One of his greatest attributes is nothing ever really seems to faze him regardless of the situation. Pretty even temperament, and another changeup to get the job done here. So this game, in so many ways, even when you're one of the best in the business, as Marco Diaz is how do you make adjustments? As Mac Mulvey out in front of the changeup at 66, which is a far cry from 86. And that catches a piece of A.J. Moses, but mostly bat. But there was a little hand in the business as he's trying to test that right hand. As the lights have come on here at JDT First Energy Fields. At this beautiful Bear Creek softball complex. Constructed by the Cornelius family. Scott and Elena, who have done a lot for this sport. No balls and 2 strikes to A.J. Moses. Played at last year's ISC World Tournament with the Toronto Batmen. As Diaz misses just outside with a hard drop at 85. Maybe a piece of both catcher and umpire that time. As Mike DeBrew steps out. Marco comes to check on Biondi, and it did go off his right throwing hand. Bruno Matroni in the dugout, the veteran catcher. As you get a look at some of the great souvenirs that are available. Lots of different options. As we're back to play. And strike 3 called, much to the chagrin of A.J. Moses. So Marco Diaz yet to give up a hit through 4. He's hoping his team could deliver a few more of those moving forward in a 0-0 game here at the 2026 ISC World Tournament on Softball Premier TV.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon.
Hill United with 2 hits off Taiga Onishi, but he has thrown exceptionally well. Marco Diaz has yet to surrender one to the Georgian Bay lineup. They've had 3 base runners, 2 by way of walk and 1 hit by pitch. We'll look at Brian Porter in the dugout, who does so much. The Six Nations Reserve in that community, business-wise, involved in the arts. Does so much for young people, and just a fine, fine gentleman. Had a chance to take a long drive back from South Bend, Indiana with him, and it was just great to get to know him and ask him about all his different endeavors and what his culture and just how special it is. And it was really a terrific trip. Brad Ezekiel flew out to left field, his first time up. As Hill United getting a second through the order try at Taiga Onishi. And he has certainly brought his A game to the park against the 2-time reigning ISC champs. A lot of interest around the diamond as this one continues. And Brad Ezekiel draws a leadoff walk to open inning number 4.
Second baseman, number 69.
And now Lenny Villavazzo. The 27-year-old from Mexico. He's also a softball coach. He coaches back home in the Mexican Women's Professional League. And this guy he has a great spirit about him. He's a very infectious character and a whale of a player. Already a 4-time all-world performer at this event. And he's just 27, really coming into his own. He struck out earlier in the game against Onishi. As the Hill United dugout, as noisy as it's been all eve, and they know they're in a tussle. Head coach, general manager Jeff Ellsworth, and you will not meet a more consummate professional, an incredible player, great coach, and congratulations to him on his induction earlier today into the 2026 class of the ISC Hall of Fame. He was a fabulous outfielder, great batter, and you just you cannot help but learn about the game if you spend time around them. Popped in the air, could be playable, and found a small window where Wade Kiwagashig couldn't get there. Okawa came over as well, and it will provide Lenny Viavazo with another opportunity. No one out. Bottom of the fourth inning. Just 2 total hits in the game. And another walk, back-to-back to open up the fourth. And the Chiefs threaten here. And will be interesting to see what Jeff Ellsworth, John Stewart, and John Hill, the terrific coaching staff of the Chiefs, have up their sleeve with Quentin Bruce, who has great speed. See if right here the Chiefs try to maybe move both runners into scoring position. Nobody out. And he squared to bunt and unable to lay it down. Bunting at this level at times just does not occur anywhere near as much as it once was. And because of that, can be more and more difficult when asked to do so. But it can produce big runs when you need it. And they turned Quentin Bruce loose, and he had a good hack at that pitch. No balls and 2 strikes to Quentin Bruce, who in many ways had his softball coming out party at the 2022 World Cup, playing for Canada when he was 11 for 20 and one of the top hitters in that event. Check swing. Could be trouble. Is trouble. And talked about his ability to get out of the batter's box on the check swing. This should very likely be scored a base hit. Quentin's first of this ISC World Tournament. And the bases are loaded for Tony Gonzalez. Is Hill United trying to break it open here, or at least get on the board? No one out. And Gonzalez takes a strike. Tony, over the last 2 years, there's no one out here, but he has 28 runs driven in the last couple of years with 2 outs. And he has hit very well the last 2 years with runners in scoring position, and he's done it again. Here comes Viavazo. Tony Gonzalez delivers. And Hill United jump out to a 2-0 lead. And looked like he stayed back on the change and was able to punch it out as Ezekiel scored easily, and so did Viavazo.
91, Shane Baldwin.
As Tony Gonzalez with 2 more runs batted in, and he's up to 4 so far at this event. Had 2 in the opening game win, versus Poose Lynch. As Shane squared to bunt. So Hill United finally getting to Taiga Onishi, who started the inning by walking the first two batters. And another strike. Shane will take a couple of deep breaths and look to get himself ready. Hit 2 home runs in the title game last year in Mankato. And a check swing to keep his at-bat alive. Longtime member of the Chiefs, longtime member of Canada's national team. And you won't find many better leaders in the sport. And Onishi thought he might have found the bottom part of the strike zone with that offering. It has been a good one here on night number 2. And again, Boland able to stay away from a high pitch. That one a rise at 80. Don't think that was the high drop. As Onishi looks in. And another foul. As Boland having himself a good at-bat. And we have talked a lot all year just about the build-up, how this is what it's all about, this 8-day event. It is the creme de la creme of the ISC club fast pitch softball. And Onishi, you know what he thought. He didn't need many guesses after his reaction. So the Chiefs have scored 2, hoping to add more in the bottom of the 4th. They know they're in a battle tonight. Boland, just foul. Almost caught some chalk. And this replay will show you just how close it was. About a foot. Another payoff type pitch on the way from Onishi, who has really thrown well in this one. And strike 3. Is Onishi able to win that quality battle between pitcher and batter. He comes up and in on the hands on the inside portion. And he's up to 5 strikeouts himself in the game. Blake Hunter has singled in the contest. And that one might add as much juice on it. At least it certainly smacked the glove, only at 79. It felt like it might have been closer to the low 80s. But the low rise, and the rise generally does not produce the same kind of results in terms of miles per hour. believe it might be 2 balls and no strikes to Blake Hunter, who early in this event is 3 for 3. 2 for 2 last night with a triple, his first one of those of 2026. And he fought one off into the outfield. There's lots of time in between pitches. Will always be a little extra, I find, when there's a runner at second base. Just want to make sure that the series of signs is what you want them to be. Hunter on the nose, and a sensational catch by Ryuji Okawa to end the inning. Blake Hunter can't hit a ball any harder than that. This is a rocket. Ryuji Okawa. Superb. As Hill scored twice. It could have been much more had it not been for the work of the shortstop. Here at the Bear Creek Softball Complex on Softball Premier TV.
No errors, 1 runner left on base. After 4 complete innings of play, Yale United Chiefs 2, Georgia Bay Giants no score.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
A sensational catch by Ryuji Okawa to take potentially an extra base hit away from Blake Hunter. There's a double play, Hill United with a couple in the 4th, but had it not been for this, the score could have been at least 4. That is some play. There's Tyler Hewitt, who made good contact. His first at-bat tonight, he sent Quentin Bruce almost all the way back to the track in left center. Bruce made an excellent play to take a hit away from him. Top of the 5th and a 2-0 Hill United lead as they were able to put something together. Tony Gonzalez with a big base hit to cash in the 2 runs. As he's up to 29 runs batted in on the year, and he has 4 of those right here in the first 2 days of the 2026 ISC tournament. Marco, by my count, with 9 strikeouts in the game. Although the official score now have him at 9. So I have to double check things, but regardless, he's having another quality outing as he gets Tyler Hewitt swinging to open the 5th with a rise ball. Andrew Van Boekel. And that's the high drop at 86. Shane Boland in to consult a little bit. Andrew struck out back in the second. And this time, the lower drop. And again, at 86. And then pulled the string. This is a good sequence. Marco, in giving up just one run, as the team did in the 2025 tournament, had 4 games in which he had 11 or more strikeouts.
Number 7,
Had 12 in the 4 innings that he worked against the Puslinch Kodiaks in the tournament opener last night. And up to 10 tonight. And the third baseman facing him now in Wade Kiwagashig. Two outs, top of the 5th. Second game for both teams in the winner's bracket. And there is strike 3. So Diaz strikes out the side in the 5th. And Hill United in front by a pair. The JDT First Energy Fields on Softball Premier TV. Hill United with 4 hits, the 2 runs. As Taiga Onishi has certainly brought his best to the ballpark, the pitcher from Japan. His fellow countryman, Ryuji Okawa, made a sensational catch to end the last inning, or it could be 3 or 4, but it's only 2 as Luci Biondi begins inning number 5. The 23-year-old catcher. Big slap on the right thigh, which is not exclusively an Argentina thing, but I've seen several players from that country go in that direction, and Biondi having a conversation with Alan Pecker about where that pitch was in the swing. And there's the speed of Biondi, unable to get the bunt down on this particular occasion. Biondi has home run power too. He's become a regular member of Argentina's national team. Played in the World Cup, the World Games, played in the 2023 or 2026 U23 World Cup earlier this year in Colombia. And this time, Onishi with another quality drop ball gets him. That has certainly been his best pitch, and in several cases, his out pitch tonight. As Onishi opens the bottom of inning number 5 with another strikeout. And he's up to 6 in the game. Couple of walks to open the 4th did help pave the way for Hill United's 2 runs. Onishi now has thrown 71 pitches in the game, 45 of those for strikes. As Alan Pecker tries to potentially start another rally and fouled that off of his foot. Allen doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2 in the game. He already has 2 doubles at this year's ISC World Tournament. And again, a quality drop. I know that Blair Sedford just stopped by in between innings and talk around the park. Is that Onishi is throwing as well and maybe as hard as he has at any time over the last couple of years. And a date with the defending champions can bring out the best. And he has been at his best. That drop ball has been world class tonight. And everything is about the late movement. As Alan Pecker could not turn on it. 2 out for Nick White. And again, Nick shows the potential of bunt. The 22-year-old from Truro, Nova Scotia. And he has some pop, too. He's homered 4 times during the course of the year. Flown out tonight and struck out. And this guy works very hard at his craft. Up in the air and look out. Shinsuke Amada. And there certainly is some padding there, thank goodness. But he hit it hard. And Nick White will have another opportunity as he was unable to lay it down and then, ouch. Thank goodness he didn't bang his chin on the top of the backstop. As Nick wipes out the batter's box, steps away, and will reset himself. Nick also already a member of Canada's national team. And stays alive with that swing. Nick was a very impressive 391 hitter at the U23 World Cup for Canada. 6 hits in the 2026 Pan American Games. Also in Colombia early in the year, Monteria. And Nick's having himself a good at-bat with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. He's on the verge of stardom. Just 22 years of age, won't turn 23 until the 4th of December. See if Onishi comes with that drop again. Van Boekel. Another 1-2-3 inning for Taiga Onishi and the Georgian Bay Giants will head to the 6th in a 2-0 Hill United lead.
For Hill United Chiefs, bottom of the 5th. 3 out, 3 out.
Dream catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Earlier and all the great work he does, and that was just a single example of what he does in the community. Brad Pender, shortstop Ryuji Okawa, Enzo Chiramonte, the scheduled hitters for the Georgian Bay Giants, who have received a splendid outing from their pitcher, Taiga Onishi, who has held the Chiefs to just 4 hits. And Marco Diaz has been rolling along quite nicely himself. The schedule of this ISC World Tournament, if you remain in the winner's bracket, can be very favorable to use your ace on an every game basis. And that, I'm sure, is what the Chiefs have in mind. That's what occurred last year. Marco pitched in all 6 games. And begins the 6th by striking out the left fielder Brad Pender. And that is strikeout number 12. Back-to-back 12 strikeout games for Marco Diaz, the 24-year-old right-hander, to open this version of the ISC World Tournament. And Okawa tried to take him downtown with that swing. Went right down on a knee. Some kind of catch by the player in the batter's box earlier in the game. Popped in the air, but well out of play. Really good game to close things out at this diamond. It'll be JDT First Energy and the Kegel Black Knights, who will square off about a half an hour after this game comes to a conclusion. "34 teams began the hunt for the title yesterday. We'll crown a champion here next Saturday night. Time is called. The ball comes in. Pitchers are not fond of using brand new balls. They want something a little scuffed up. And Diaz again. 88 on the radar. A little extra giddy up for Diaz on that pitch. And here's Enzo Chiramonte. He's been on base twice. He was hit and then walked. The low rise for yet another strike. That one got away. Well, we see that little shy grin, and in fact, he wants to chat with Luciano Biondi about their sequence of pitches. Everybody in that huddle speaks Spanish, so there's no issue there. Tony probably with the best English amongst that group. Great to see his family here. Made their way from Mexico. Marco Diaz dialing it up here in the 6th inning. But really has all night. Forget about it. The low rise. Marco Diaz.
Well, Georgian Bay Giants in the top of the
By
6th.
my count, has 9 straight strikeouts. He's up to 14 in the game. Hill United to bat when we return to the 2026 ISC World Tournament on Softball Premier TV.
How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com and make your technology work for your business.
Leading off the bottom of 6 for Hill United Chiefs. Designated player number 11, Brad Ezekiel.
Brad Ezekiel to start the bottom of the 6th. Hill United, 4 hits, the 2 runs, both of them cashed in by Tony Gonzalez. On a changeup to start, Ezekiel from Taiga Onishi, who is certainly opening some eyes with this performance. Ezekiel walked and scored in the fourth. And Ezekiel, one thing that every grade hitter always possesses is a good batting eye. And Brad certainly shows that day in and day out. Just been an absolute treat to watch him over the course of his career. Tied him up, Okawa. And there is one away. And now it's Lenny Viavazo who walked and scored. That was the only inning, and Onishi, who's been excellent, got himself in some hot water in that inning by walking Ezekiel and Viavazo to start it. And a single from Quentin Bruce, and then the two-run single courtesy of Tony Gonzalez. And that's why we sit with Hill United in front of Georgian Bay 2-0. And regardless of how this game might end, Georgian Bay should take a lot away from it, and they are still right in the thick of it, only down by 2. But tonight, they're also, to this point, facing Marco Diaz, who has brought his A game, and he's needed it. Yeah, these are the games that really draw a lot of attention, especially for teams that aren't as highly ranked as the Chiefs and Gremlins, JDT, the Bear Creek Express, the Drillers, Batman. So if you're doing well against these groups, that one in the dirt, it got away, and Viavazo will end up being safe. And just another indicator that always helps to go down the line. You never know what can happen. So that's an error on the play that allows Viavazo to be safe, and Tyler Hewitt did everything in his power to try and corral it or get to it. Thrown in the dirt. And that's what can happen sometimes. You know you have time, and you will finesse it. And sometimes when you finesse it, rather than just throw it the way you would if somebody was going to make the play a little closer, that can create some havoc.
Batting for Lenny Viavazo. Running. Running. Lenny Viavazo.
So the new runner is a newcomer to the team. His name is Jared Pico. He's from Newfoundland. He had a terrific U20 Canadian championship recently where he hit .381. And Hill United had a spot on the roster and felt like they wanted to add one more base runner. So you likely won't see Pico in a scenario in the tournament outside of the one that he's in. And in an interesting spot here. Well, you got to be some nervous. I believe he's only 18 years old. Hill United had a similar scenario last year. The young man by the name of Aleo Gonzalez who plays for JDT First Energy now. Quentin Bruce. Pico shows that speed. Bruce slides in safely. And that'll help the confidence of the young man. And Quentin Bruce delivers his second hit of the night. And the Chiefs threatening to add to the advantage. A little visit. And Coach Miller looks like he might make a change. And he's going to make a change. And this gentleman should get a great round of applause. Taiga Onishi has thrown himself a whale of a ball game. And he's a little frustrated as he makes his way into the dugout, but he has acquitted himself extremely well here tonight. We'll take a bit of a break and tell you a little bit more about the new pitcher, Yuya Yamawaki, another player from Japan. You're watching the 2026 ISC World Tournament on Softball Premier TV.
Swung on and missed. Strike three, and the Kitchener River Shark Twins repeat. It's the local kid who wins it.
Swing and a miss. Jarvis, three-peats.
Here comes the throw to the plate. Are the world champions.
2015 ISC Men's World Champions. Melbourne has hit the game-winning home run, and the Toronto Gators are world champions.
Finally, it's out on to first, and the United Chiefs back to
And this one is over as Matt Palazzo will end it in style. And start spreading the news, Joe Todd. It's New York ISC World Champions back-to-back.
And this one is laced out to right, way back, and it's caught. Nico Carrillo catches it at the fence. The Hill United Chiefs are world champions. Called strike three.
First baseman.
Always fun to take a look back at some of the history and the fine calls that have been made. Tony Gonzalez, who drove in the first two runs of the game back in the fourth, in a position to potentially add to his run batted in total, which is up to 4 early in the tournament. And he leans into this one. It is gone. He's done it again. Tony Gonzalez, what a beginning to this ISC World Tournament. A 3-run homer. It's day 2. He has 7 runs batted in. And this one, a no-doubter off the new pitcher, Yamawaki. Left it in the middle, and it ended up in the left center bleachers. Tony Gonzalez just continues to deliver in key times. There's the birthday boy and head sponsor Pete Hill with some fist pumps all around. As 2-0 has turned into 5. And now Bruno Matroni, not at 100% himself, comes in to pinch hit. He did have a pinch hit opportunity in the game last night. Bruno, the 40-year-old catcher, and just a wealth of information. one of the great catchers in the sport for a long time, is Yamawaki with a pitch that snapped into the glove. Tony Gonzalez, 2 hits, including a 3-run homer, and he's driven in all 5. That's heaven tonight. Give these Georgian Bay Giants a lot of credit. Onishi was excellent. Kiwagashig for the second out of the inning. And remember, the air created some trouble. Not sure what's going on out there. Sometimes you have to be careful where you put your fingers. Is Blake Hunter, who could not have hit a ball any harder than he did his last at-bat, that Ryuji Okawa made a sensational catch on the line drive. It's the first time that Blake's made an out so far this weekend. There's Yamawaki with a good drop ball of his own to get ahead of the Chiefs' third baseman, the native of Nanaimo, British Columbia. Tied him up. Kiwagashig delivers in time. Tony Gonzalez, a 3-run homer. And Hill United 3 outs away from a second straight win here at the Bear Creek Softball Complex on day 2 of the ISC World Tournament.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give
Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast program.
For Hill United Chiefs in the bottom of the 6th, they scored 3 runs on 2 hits. With 1 error, no runners left on base.
Marco Diaz looking to finish things off. Things became a little more comfortable for him and the Chiefs after Tony Gonzalez hit a 3-run homer in the 6th to extend the Hill United advantage.
Miladazzo had re-entered the game at second base. And number 91, Shane Boland, has re-entered the game at shortstop.
5-0. Marco up to 14 strikeouts in the game. He's done that this year on 2 other occasions.
Catcher, 99, Suzuki Ahada.
In fact, 1 other occasion. His same box score went into the stats on a couple of occasions. He struck out 14 batters June 20th in Mitchell, Ontario, in a win over the Bear Creek Express on a Saturday night. Here it's a Sunday night. And facing the catcher, Shinsuke Amada. And Marco, for a rare time, really since the first inning. First inning was his most difficult, as he hit a batter and walked a batter. since then, absolutely dialed in. And at least on one occasion has reached 88 on the radar. A lot of 86s and 87s too. Amata fights it off. Is that a fair ball? Foul. And Marco having a bit of a chuckle will get another look. Very close, but called foul. Strikeout number 15. And that would be a season high for Marco Diaz in the strikeout department, facing Mac Mulvey. So the Georgian Bay Giants have been a handful tonight for the two-time reigning champs, thanks in large part to the pitching performance of Taiga Onishi. And then the Marco Diaz and Tony Gonzalez show. Tony's driven in all 5 Hill United Chiefs runs, including one that likely put the game away in the 6th, a 3-run homer to left center. Change up out of the zone. And a good cut by Mac Mulvey. Good swing right on that pitch. There's Marco Diaz trying to cap off what has been a splendid performance. Ball and 2 strikes. And another good swing for Mulvey. Marco has 27 strikeouts in the first 2 days. He wants a different sign. And another pitch at 88. As you know, his adrenaline is flowing. And Mulvey's good at bat lends itself to his second walk of the game. Marco has walked 3 batters, and he's hit a batter in the game. He's thrown 96 pitches, 61 of them for strikes. And he is yet to give up a single hit. So pinch runner will come in, and Colin McDougall, or Cole McDougall, number 89, will run for Mac Mulvey.
Batting for the right fielder, A.J. Moses.
And
number 53, Jay Miller.
Jay Miller will be the pinch hitter. Bezgrove, Diaz, Para, Osichka, and Wimur Mata. Diaz delivers a first pitch strike to the pinch hitting Jay Miller. Jay 0 for 1 in the game yesterday against Prince George in a 7-0 Georgian Bay victory.
3-9, goal for Hugo.
Boy, that must be a lot of fun. Come off the bench and somebody's throwing 87 and 88 at you. No, thank you. Watched this sport my whole life at a high level and still find myself in amazement of how anybody ever gets a hit at times off the elite of the elite. Biondi, a snap throw almost ended the game. As Marco sits down, Jay Miller. So Tyler Hewitt will look to spoil the one thing that Marco Diaz wants. And Tyler arguably has made the best contact off of Marco on the night. He sent a ball to the track that Quentin Bruce made a fine running catch on in his first at-bat in the second. Down to their last out. And they should feel awfully good about how they've performed. And now it's one strike.
21, Tyler Hewitt.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Biondi, a Marco Diaz masterpiece. A 17 strikeout no-hitter. As Hill United takes another step in the winner's bracket as they knock off a very game Georgian Bay Giant team 5-0. And in some ways, the score does not tell the story. Marco Diaz was marvelous, and Tony Gonzalez drove in all 5 Hill United runs, a 2-run single in the 4th, and a 3-run homer in inning number 6 to put it away. Hill United will have tomorrow off and return to action on Tuesday. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Blair's got another great one to come your way next. It'll be Kegel, the Black Knights, and JDT First Energy. Don't miss that one. So long for now from the 2026 ISC World Tournament.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3 and the Kitchener River Shark Twins repeat. It's the local kid who wins it.
Swing and a miss. Jarvis, 3-peat.
Here comes the throw to the plate. Are the world champions.
2015 ISC Men's World Champions. Shane Bowen has hit the game-winning home run, and the Toronto Gators are world champions.
Physically, it's Adam on the first, and the United Chiefs back to the
And this one is over as Matt Palazzo will end it in style. And start spreading the news, Joe Todd. It's New York, ISC world champions back-to-back. And this one is laced out to right, way back, and it's caught! Nico Carrillo catches it at the fence! The Hill United Chiefs are world champions! Called strike three, your ISC world champions, the Kitchener-Hallman Twins. Trying to put it away is Jack Besgrove. The New York Gremlins are world champions. High in the air, Diabazo comes to get it, and the Chiefs are back to the top of the mountain.
That has a chance. My goodness. This game is over.